Creating a wet room is an easy process as long as you follow the simple installation instructions that come with the kit. First of all, check the pack contents to ensure you have all of the items necessary for the installation process. Make sure that the walls and flooring in the work area are free from dirt and nails and that the floor coverings have been removed. Using a spirit level, check that the floor is level. If it is plus or minus 5 mm per metre, this is acceptable. Lay out the tray pieces one at a time exactly where required. Using a marker pen, mark the area in the centre of the tray pieces. Once you have marked out the area, remove the tray pieces and put to one side. Then add 15 mm to all edges, making an area of 150 mm wide by 630 mm. Using a circular saw with the cutting depth set to the depth of the floor, cut out the marked area on the floor. Be careful not to cut into the joists. Make sure that at least 3 joists are showing. If not, add more support by screwing timbers to the underside of the floorboards. Assemble the drainage and joist brackets as per instructions supplied, ready to be put into position. Mark out and lay into position the 4 by 20 mm wide adjuster pieces. Use the 5 mm adjuster pieces for 18 mm floorboards or the 10 mm adjuster pieces for 22 mm floorboards. The linear waist needs to be 10 mm above the floorboards when it is fixed. Put the drain in position and check it is 10 mm above the floor. Lay into position the floor pieces to ensure they fit correctly around the drain. Then securely screw it to the joists and connect the waste outlet to the drainage. Mark out and cut the 4 10 by 15 mm packers to size. Now apply a generous bead of solvent gap filler on all 4 sides, covering the frame and screw heads. Make sure you only use the solvent supplied. Press the packers into position. Apply a bead of solvent gap filler to each edge of the tray pieces and lay the tray pieces into position, fitting the long tray piece against the wall first. Screw each tray piece down to the floorboards at 6 cm intervals. Ensure you avoid any pipework, cables or services. Follow this step until you have fitted all 4 tray pieces, making sure all joints are level and the solvent is added around all 4 edges of the waist. Remove the clamping frame and studs and seal between the tray and linear waist with the solvent gap filler. If you have existing walls covered with plaster or plasterboard, use Primer G to seal the walls. If the walls are not covered, then clad the walls with panels or plasterboards and coat with Primer G. Always ensure that you do not apply any Primer G to the tray. Dry cut the blue tape before applying any elastigum to it. Once all the pieces are cut to size, using a roller or small brush, apply the elastigum to the waist joints, wall and tray joints. Apply the blue tape while the elastigum is still wet and smooth down the tape as you go along. Always remember, a joint is a weak point, so ensure all joints are taped. Now cover the whole tray, tapes and walls with 1 coat of elastigum and allow to dry 3 hours. Once dry, apply a second coat. Leave the area to dry overnight or for at least 8 hours before tiling. This will depend on your site conditions. Once the membrane is dry, lay the clamping frame down and pierce the tape with a spike through all of the holes for the stainless steel stud screws and screw down. Fit the tile-able insert with the 4 stud screws supplied and tighten. The tray and walls are now ready for tiling.